Hi guys, here's lesson 12 from ratio tables to double number line diagram. So please copy this in your workbook on page S47, which is where you'll find lesson 12. Today I will create equivalent ratios using a ratio table and represent these ratios on a double number line diagram. Okay, this is a new way that you will be representing your ratios. You've been working with tape diagrams. Now you're going to work with double number line diagrams. But before we introduce our lesson today, we're going to be a lot of our problems will revolve around soda pop, soft drinks, whatever you want to call it, and sugar. So before we get started, here is a little video on what's in your soft drink.
Sugar. Have you ever stopped to think how much sugar is in your soft drink? For many people, soft drinks are the number one source of sugar in their diet, and it's just empty calories. Do you realize drinking one soft drink a day for a year means almost 15 kilograms of added sugar? This translates into 54,750 kilocalories, or over 15 pounds of added weight. So what kind of effect does drinking soft drinks have on your health? Drinking soft drinks is not only linked to obesity, it puts your heart at risk and may also contribute to diabetes. After what I have just told you, you may think, well, I'll just drink Diet Pop. Is that a good alternative? Studies show that Diet Pop will make you gain weight. Your brain is tricked into thinking that sugar is on the way. When it isn't, you're likely to take in even more calories in foods. Caffeine is also a problem. Each can of cola contains 50 milligrams of caffeine. Caffeine produces an adrenaline rush, pupils dilate, your heartbeat is faster, and sugar floods your bloodstream. When your adrenaline rush wears off, you feel even more tired. You drink another can. What do soft drinks do to your teeth? The acid in regular or Diet Pop start to dissolve tooth enamel in only 20 minutes. Soft drinks not only eat away your teeth, but your bones too. The acid pulls calcium out of your bones, leading to a higher risk of bone fractures and early osteoporosis. What's the alternative? It's simple. Water. Beautiful, pure, wonderful water. Girl, and you got me wanting you. I just can't believe the loveliness of loving you. I just can't believe it's true.
All right, that's just a little public service announcement for you guys. Okay, so moving on. Exercise 1 would have been your warm-up for today. So we are starting with exercise 2, which can be found on page S47. It reads, the amount of sugary beverages Americans consume is a leading health concern. For a given brand of cola, a 12-ounce serving of cola contains about 40 grams of sugar. So this is where we have it on our chart right here. Complete the ratio table using the given ratio to find equivalent ratios. So go ahead and figure out, like, to fill in this box beforehand. We know that half of 12 is 6. So how many grams of sugar is there if we had 6 ounces of cola? So pause this video to complete the rest of the table. Exercise 3. A 1-liter bottle of cola contains approximately 34 fluid ounces. How many grams of sugar would be in a 1-liter bottle of the cola? Explain and show how to arrive at the solution. So I've filled out this ratio table, and we have your 6 over 20 grams of sugar, 12 40 grams of sugar, 18 60 grams of sugar. Now you complete the rest of how many grams of sugar there are for 24 ounces of cola, 30 ounces, and 36 ounces of cola. Okay, so pause this video to complete the rest of the table. Since 34 ounces comes between 30 and 36, right in between here, how can we find the grams of sugar for 34 ounces? Pause this video to come up with a solution. When you think you have a solution, write your answer on the board. So, here is another way of showing this. Okay, I have here my double number line diagram, and you see that I've already divided my lines showed up before the double number line diagram. I've already divided that, where this line would be 0, the next line is 6 right here, so representing the 6 ounces of cola. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the 20 right underneath it. That's my 20 grams of sugar. So whatever I get from my ratio table here on top, that goes on top. And then I give my corresponding value, 40, down here. So 12 to 40. Next is 18 to 60. 24 to 80. 30 to 100. Now we have 36 to 120. Okay, so once again, I have my double numbered line diagram, which is basically 2 arrows. The top arrow, or the top number line, represents my first row of numbers here from my ratio table, and the bottom number line represents the values or the corresponding numbers that go down below here. Now we are needing to know how many grams of sugar there are and 34 fluid ounces. If you notice, my values go from 30 to 36. So ladies and gentlemen, your next step would be to draw lines here that will show us where 34 ounces is on this number line. So we have here 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36. Now we need to know, our question then is, how many grams of sugar? Right down here. How much is this? What we do know is that 34 is 4/6. Right here is 4/6 or 2/3 of this number line, of this portion of the number line. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is 4 out of 6, 4/6, or simplified to 2/3. The way to solve for this number down here then is to find, and is to know that first we know before we solve the number for this number right here, we know that this portion over here is 20, right? There's an increment of 20. And what we need to find next is what is 2/3 of this portion of 20, and then add this to the 100. So my equation here is 100 plus 2/3, right? Because this 34 is 2/3 or 4/6 or 2/3 of the way of this gap of 20, or this increment of 20, sorry. So now solving for that, remember that 200 plus 2/3 times is the same as, sorry guys, 100 plus 2/3 times 20 equals 100 plus 2/3 times 20 over 1. So remember when you are multiplying with fractions. If you have a question about how to multiply with fractions, please write your name on the board and I will help you out with that. Okay? And whatever your answer is here will tell us how many grams of sugar there are in 34 ounces of cola, or 1 liter bottle. Now we move on to exercise 4. Exercise 4 says a school cafeteria has a restriction on the amount of sugary drinks available to students. Drinks may not have more than 25 grams of sugar. Based on this restriction, what is the largest size cola in ounces the cafeteria can offer to students? Okay, I'm going to start you off with this problem, and my expectation is that you will finish this on your own. Again, in my double number line diagram, the top number line representing the ounces of cola, and the bottom number line representing the grams of sugar. We were given that number that students can't have drinks with more than 25 grams of sugar. So here's 25 grams. We know that we are able to divide this increment evenly by 5, okay, because we're looking for 25 grams. So 5, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And now we need to know what the value is for ounces given this. So we know that this 25 is 1/4 of the way between 20 to 40. Look, if you can see that it's there's the increment of 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's 1 out of 4. Okay, let me know if that doesn't make any sense, right? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is your first number in that 4, so then that makes it 1/4 of the way. Now we need to find this spot, and there's an increment of 6, right? 6 plus 6 equals 12. 12 plus 6 is 18, so we have increments of 6 up here, and we need to add that to this 6. So 6, this 6 represents this 6, plus 1/4, remember 1/4 of 6, meaning this whole space right here. Okay, what does that equal? Once again, if you're needing help with multiplying with fractions, let me know. Basically, this 1/4 times 6 means 1/4 times 6 over 1, and then you multiply across. Okay, pause this video to solve this problem. Okay, our lesson summary, ladies and gentlemen, can be found on page S49. It states a double number line is a representation of a ratio relationship using a pair of parallel number lines. Okay, those two number lines that we saw. One number line is drawn above the other so that the zeros of each number line are aligned directly with each other. Each ratio in a relationship in a ratio relationship is represented on the double number line by always plotting the first entry of the ratio on one of the number lines and plotting the second entry on the other number line so that the second entry is aligned with the first entry. Basically, whatever number you have in your top ratio table, that corresponds with the bottom number on your ratio table. Okay? So, your next steps. Find a partner to work with if you want, okay? And complete exercise 4 and 5. When you are done and feel ready, get an exit ticket from me or from our shelf, right? It's all there on the shelf. Your homework is to finish exercises 4 and 5. All right, guys. Until our next lesson, see ya.